Hello and welcome to my meditation. I hope you like my witch hat. I wore it in honor of Halloween this week, along with my witch earrings and my own witchy self. My name is Debra Baker, and welcome to my meditation. I am delighted that you have joined me. I hope I haven't scared you off so far. I've been told that despite my best efforts, I'm not very good at being scary. Although I do have a nice wicked laugh. At least I think it is. So let's take our nice deep breath. I am wearing my winter coat because it is in the 40s. And it's refreshing. Taking a nice deep breath and this kind of chilly breath it's invigorating. So by now you've joined me, I hope, in taking your 3 nice deep breaths, slowing the inhale and slowing the exhale. So I asked my guides, we had a few conversations about the meditation this week and landed upon the idea of fear, which I think is really appropriate for this week because some people find Halloween scary and are fearful and all of the paranormal things that are associated with Halloween scare people, and they used to scare me. And that's a little bit of what we're going to talk about, but we're just going to focus on befriending our fear and then allowing it to release. Fear is a natural human emotion, so don't beat yourself up when you are fearful, when you're experiencing fear. There is a no beating yourself up rule for this channel. No self-criticism, no self-abuse of any kind. Let's imagine everywhere where your body is touching either the seat of the chair that you're sitting in or the bed that you're lying upon or the sofa, whatever. Everywhere your body is touching something, these little tiny trapdoors open up. And as you release your next few breaths, you also release anything that could distract you from this meditation, anything that is bothering you, is getting in your way. Let your shoulders sink down. And imagine those trapdoors, that sense of whatever you're letting go of, just expanding. So whether you're lying down and it's expanding from your back and the backs of your legs and your feet, the backs of your arms all the way up through the front of your body, or whether you're sitting in a chair and it's moving up from the soles of your feet and your tailbone, your sit bones, your pelvic floor, just feel that sense of release and relaxation move through you. Letting go. So I've been doing a little bit of healing work this week as well, because I'll show you my latest caper. It looks like for a while I had to hold it up and it looked like I was giving everybody a thumbs up. I had some work done on the nail bed of that thumb, and it hurt a lot. And with pain often comes fear, because I was dreading how it would hurt next. I was dreading bumping it or somebody else bumping it or moving my hand in such a way that it would cause pain. I'm sure it's quite swollen and very painful. But let's think about allowing ourselves to release fear. It's really getting cold out here. I'm putting my glove on. Oh, we're not finished. My guides just told me we're not finished relaxing our bodies. So we allow those trapdoors to be open and to let go of any stress or tension. Now let's let our minds go. Feel your neck get softer. Maybe move your head around. And then feel that relaxation move all the way through your head. Allow your infinite self to take charge for now. And relax your brain. Slow your brain activity. Quiet your soul. You deserve this time for yourself. I apologize for somebody crying. I don't know what her deal is. She's a high needs dog. Here she comes. Come here. It's okay. It's all right. Yeah, it's okay. Why don't you sit and do the meditation with us? Yeah, we're relaxing our bodies. Yeah, we're letting everything go. Yeah, we're being a good girl. Getting our paws out of mommy's hair. Yeah. And so let's allow ourselves, let's give ourselves permission to be aware of whatever fear we might be having. I mentioned fear of the paranormal. And I often have clients say, I don't want to see a ghost. Don't let me see a ghost. And while I actually have no control over it, I do tell them if you want to see one, you encourage them to make themselves visible to you. But if you don't want to see them, you are much less likely to. But I have not experienced any kind of spiritual being at all that has ever wanted to cause harm, that has ever wanted to do harm or cause pain or suffering. Now occasionally spirits show up, and in the healing process there is pain because it's hard to connect with them again and know that they're still real, they're still alive, just not in human form. You have a bunch of spirit guides, guardian angels around you. They've been with you since before you were born. They helped you make some of the choices and decisions that you made. The main events in your life, the major relationships, your parents, your situation in life. And they said, all right, we'll help you make these decisions, and then we will support you 100% of the time. So most of the time, if you think you see someone standing there and then you look with these eyes and don't see anyone, it's probably one of your spirit guides. And if you have loved ones living with you, it could be one of their spirit guides. Or spirit animals. Animals that you've had that have passed away. They are still with you. Let's just take a moment and close your eyes if they're not already. And imagine all of those beings around you sending you love and support. None of them wanting any harm, pain, suffering for you in any way. They want joy and peace and serenity for you. They want to guide you each step of the way. You are surrounded by loved ones. Some that you've known in this life already who've passed. Some that are just there in spirit. You've probably known them in past lives. All sending you love and support. So we know that you are surrounded by love and support, spiritual energy all the time. That's the first thing we're going to do. The second thing is we're going to look at what other kind of fears you might be having. So I had a health scare a few weeks ago, and it turned out to be nothing, but you know how those things go until you figure out, until you, the medical term is rule out, whatever it is you think might be wrong. I tried very hard. So I had a medical scare, and I tried really hard not to think about it, not to focus on it, not to give it any energy. Not because I necessarily felt like I'd be able to think it into being, so much as I knew that when I was in fear, it was, my stomach was churning, I got heartburn, and it wasn't a good place for me or for anyone else. I chose to keep it to myself because I knew that my fear would be compounded if I told my loved ones, hey, I'm afraid I have this really serious health condition. Then I would not only be dealing with my fear, I'd also be dealing with their fear. And it may have been selfish on my part, I don't know, but it kept the fear down to a minimum. And I felt like, why play with fear when there's no real fact to back it up yet? It was just a suspicion. I'm not a medical professional. So there's a cautionary tale there as far as focusing on fear, or maybe it's not a cautionary tale, but there's a message there about what we focus on increases. And when I chose not to focus on the fear, I would say 70-80% of the time I wasn't living in the fear until I got the test run that I needed to have run, and found out that everything was perfectly normal. I was able to stay out of my fear by very consciously acknowledging it. And I let myself go there a little bit. If I had this health condition, it could have been very, very serious. It could have taken my life, and I'm not ready to leave this earth. And so with that fear then came some grief, sadness of my family and friends and loved ones, going on without me. And it wasn't an arrogance, egotistical sadness. It was a true sadness, knowing that, we are integral parts of one another's lives. So when you are in fear, recognize that it can bring up other feelings as well. It can bring up anger. It can bring up shame. And it's funny because sometimes when we are afraid of something bad happening, we think we did it to ourselves. I've heard that called metaphysical malpractice. What we think about, we bring about. Yes. But mostly it's energetically. We don't necessarily bring about disease or, death. I've heard people say, well, he kept focusing on his death and he died. Well, the way I look at it as a psychic medium is there was probably a part of his soul that was preparing him for passing, rather than focusing on something and making it happen. So let go of your fears, knowing that there is divine order, there is a greater plan, there is an infinite source moving in, through, and as you in every moment. And that all is well, even when it feels like maybe it's not. And maybe when it feels like it definitely is not. I know a lot of you are going through some really deep grief. And deep grief, when we lose loved ones, has a very strong component of all is not well. And then it creates this adjustment process until we adjust to things as they are, and we reach an acceptance. And acceptance is the first step. So that's key to this meditation too. So I invite you to be in a state of acceptance. Think about everything in your life, most of which you are powerless over, and accept it exactly as it is. Accept that these human lives are finite, and some people will exit this planet before we do, and we will exit this planet before others. And so we embrace every moment. We accept this chilly fall day, and my dog is about to start whining again. And we accept all the wonderful things. When we are in acceptance, it's not just about accepting the bad stuff. And that's where our thoughts come in. When we focus on what we want, when we focus on everything that is wonderful, we expand it. And so I invite you to release your fear, and if you have any thoughts of it, message me, and I'll share whatever I have, whatever Spirit gives me to share. And I hope you join me next week, because we're going to talk about it. Next week will be the Day of the Dead, which in the Catholic Church is All Saints' Day. But we're going to talk about our loved ones who have moved on to the other side, and I will allow them to come to me and give them whatever messages they would like to give you. So until then, I send you so much love and healing and peace and joy, and the God in me honors and recognizes and loves the God in you. Namaste. And once more, for good measure, yank, pick up a stick. Happy Halloween!